Hi, I'm Mike LaFosse from the Origami Dough Studio. Here is my origami great white shark folded from dollar bills. Each is a single bill. You can see the choice you could have, obverse or reverse side showing. And this is best folded by moistening the paper. We'll show you how to wet your dollar bill. Then we'll teach you the folding method. Just dip a small paper towel in a little bit of water and wring it out. Then swipe and wipe one side of the bill, and then flip the paper over. You'll see it will curl, and so we're going to knock the curl out by swiping and wiping to moisten the other side. The bill is ready to fold once it no longer looks nor feels wet. It will still feel supple and cool to the touch, and when the paper dries, it hardens and keeps its three-dimensional shape very well. So here I have a moistened bill, and I'd like for you to see some tools that I may use. These are jeweler's pliers with a nylon jaw, some pointed tweezers, and a folding tool. Let's begin with the obverse side facing up, and I'm going to put a mountain fold by bringing the two short edges together. Take the bottom edge on the right and roll it up to the mountain crease. Take the adjacent bottom edge and fold it up to the same mark. Unfold your paper, turn it over and upside down. Fold the left and right vertical short edges to align with the top edge. Turn the paper over and upside down. One at a time, fold the paper to align the sloping folded edges to the mountain crease. And when you do that, let the corner flap come out from the back side. Notice this shape at the top. That's going to be the shark's head. Down here, the tail. At the tail end, one at a time, fold the raw edges to the vertical center. And we have the shape of a kite. Here we have a horizontal short raw edge. This will be our guide for our next fold. And also notice that you can open a pocket, a cone-shaped pocket behind this layer. Open the pocket and tightly fold along the raw edge like this. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Notice how a hood shape begins to open in the middle. Prepare to fold some of this raw edge down to the emerging folded edge that's happening here. Notice how I'm aligning the raw edge with the folded edge. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side, although I'm not trying to flatten out the hood shape just yet. Now once I have that set up, I can begin to coax the hood flat on the sides, forming neatly folded obtuse corners here and there, and also beginning to fold this shape flat and vertical. Now that I have this vertical flap folded in half, I'm going to fold it off to one side flat and then over to the other side flat. Turn the paper over to the other side. Here we have short raw edges at the bottom. One at a time, fold them to the vertical center. Your paper should look like this. Unfold these two flaps and notice that there are creases angled at 45 degrees to the right and to the left that intersect the center of the bottom edge. And also that those creases end here and there. We're going to lift this edge up and make a valley fold that will span the crease ends up here while moving the outside bottom edges in. As we do this, we're actually forming the dorsal fin paper for our shark. So the 45-degree angle creases are working for us now, and we can flatten the paper pointing toward the front end of the shark. And here you see a kite shape. You may also notice some faint creases here and there. Take one of the short edges of the fin paper and fold it to a line with an imaginary line that would span those two corners. Unfold. And we're going to do the same thing going the other way. You'll see that there are actually creases there that you may follow. We're going to put these two left and right sides down onto the back. And you'll see the fin stands up on the back, folded in half. Mount and fold the shark in half lengthwise. Remember, here inside when we had that little flap, we're going to pull that out to make paper available for the jaws. So we open the belly and the head and then pull that corner out. But I'd like for you to notice that I'm also going to be valley folding along here as I pull, aligning the edges together, and also on the other half, the raw edge to the folded edge. And I'm doing this as I'm closing the paper in half again and pulling this corner out. So it comes out this way, and you can see the result inside. Now let's work on the tail. Take the top flap of the tail, and beginning at the base back side of the dorsal fin, make a pre-crease by folding the top edge over right about there. And this looks like a swallow's tail. We're going to inside reverse fold this folded flap. So lift open the topmost layer of the flap, and an inside reverse fold in this case is going to be mountain, valley, mountain. So the first mountain is clearly available. I have to reverse the long fold in the center to make it a valley. And then I need to reverse the outermost fold from a valley to a mountain. And in a moment you'll see the result. It's a classic inside reverse fold. Like this. Mountain, valley, mountain. And that's created a pocket, which is useful to us now. I'm going to take the other flap and first tightly folding over the work. I'm going to now tuck that flap into the channel formed by the inside reverse fold, like this, tightly inside, and flatten. The paper is still moist and foldable, but I'm going to take a moment to sharpen these creases with this folding tool. Now, let's make the tail inside reverse fold up, and that's all the layers in this area. So, open from the top, flatten and bend upward, mountain folding in half at an angle that you think looks appropriate for the top lobe, the dorsal lobe of a great white shark's tail, like this. We need to put the lower lobe in now, and that's done by inspecting the back end and seeing which of these two open enough to be able to inside reverse fold downward, and that's this one here. So we're going to do a standard inside reverse fold down, and it's up to you to set the angle that balances and completes the shape. Here's where jeweler's pliers with the nylon jaws work very well. With so many thicknesses back here in such a small space, we can compress the paper. It's wet, and so it compresses well with the jeweler's pliers. I like to take this topmost layer and mount and fold it under. You can use your own idea about how much and at what angle. So it's a rat fold, which means right about there. I'm just going to take some of that paper and roll it under. You'll see the shape in a moment, tapering down from the jawline is what I'm going to do today. And it reveals more paper for the fin. And now I'll fold the fin up. Let's copy that to the other side. Flip the paper over entirely on the other side. This time grab the fin and the topmost layer and fold up, just matching the folded edge from the first side. This is how you carry a measurement across. Now I can bring the fin down and mount and fold this inside, so I see the remnant. So that matches, and I'll fold the fin up. The fins have to come down now, but we're folding them down and at a slightly backwards angle. You'll see that shape in just a moment. Pivoting from this point here and leaving a little stair-step fold back there, pointing a little bit backwards. Let's do the same thing on the other side. Again, these pliers are handy to set those small folds tightly. Tweezers are handy as well. And here's a step that's not in the diagrams, but I think I'll use the tweezers to show you this technique. I can take this belly area and grabbing with the tweezers, just roll under and inside. It cleans up the shape and tapers the underside of the shark like that. Just grabbing the tweezers and twisting. I can do the same thing up here at the jawline if I wish. That's not in the diagrams either, but I just want to use the tweezer technique to show you. Okay, now let's open the jaws. Here's the business end. Look here at that flap that we had pulled out. I'm going to begin by opening this paper like a hood and flattening up at the nose area. And now I have a broad surface. I'm going to put my index finger in the middle like this to begin to bend it forward. And then I'm going to pull that bottom raw edge into a small point. A blunt point is probably best. And continue pushing in until I have the open jaw. We can put the pectoral fins out slightly. And then, of course, any small tweaks. And when your paper dries, it will harden up and keep its shape very well. So while the paper was continuing to dry, I did a few little refinements. It's always a good idea to go in and tighten a few things up and make any little changes that you like until everything is looking fine. Thank you for watching.